Day and night, it's with me. I feel very, very bad because they did an inhuman thing to Armenians, and any Armenian cannot forget it. Never, never.
In the
Bible it is written about hell. That's wrong. The real hell is what I saw. I've seen it and I've lived it with my eyes.
It was a long journey through the desert. We were driven into the desert where a nation died in the sands.
In 1914, the world at war. A conflict never before witnessed by mankind. War waged with modern technology, railroad, telegraph, and poison gas. The first total war, spreading from Western Europe to the highlands of the Middle East, the homeland of the Armenians. And something else, the darkest invention yet devised by nation states, genocide. This was the systematic annihilation of a whole people, the Armenians. How did it happen? Who was involved? In 1915, while the world focused on deadly combat in Europe, the Turkish government exterminated most of its Armenian citizens. A little-known fact is the role Germany played in this planned genocide of the Armenians. How complicit were the Germans? What was Germany's part in the cover-up of this terrible crime? The road to world war began in the 19th century with the consolidation of Germany into a nation-state under Chancellor Otto von Bismarck. Through industrial might, Kaiser Wilhelm II would turn Germany into a major world power. The German government believed a thrust eastward towards Mesopotamia, now Iraq, would make them a world power. By cutting Britain off from her empire in India, Germany would acquire the natural resources of the Middle East. With the establishment of a railway from Berlin through Turkey to Baghdad, Germany might achieve its imperialist dreams. The railway would be the Kaiser's economic lifeline to the Middle East. The Kaiser proclaimed, "We need Mesopotamia." Prior to the First World War, German writers like Paul Rohrbach introduced the idea of moving Armenians out of Turkey and resettling them in Mesopotamia. The industrious Armenians, he believed, would make the desert bloom.
There was, in German colonial policy, this very brutal method of dealing with colonial peoples when they wanted to steal their land and take over their goods. It was a part of colonial policy, and certainly, therefore, there were people within the German governmental establishment that could be sympathetic and understanding of the deportation policies.
General Kolmar von Goltz, advisor to the Ottoman army, believed in uprooting and relocating Christian Armenians for military reasons. He wanted to remove Armenians and to resettle them in the south, in Syria and Mesopotamia. Were the Turks influenced by German views on population relocation as they watched steel rails slice through Armenian regions? What we do know is that these same rails in the hands of the Turks became a tool for massacre and extermination.
The Baghdad Railroad was the single most important German overseas investment prior to World War I. It was owned by the Deutsche Bank, the most important German private bank. The railroad was a point of pride not only for German public opinion but also for diplomats. Success of future German expansion in the Middle East depended fully on this venture.
The German railway was to extend from Berlin through Turkey all the way to Baghdad. But on the eve of World War I, it was still unfinished. The Turks, like the Germans, also had imperialist designs. Their leaders, Talat and Enver, wanted to create a Turkish nation by destroying ethnic minorities. Their hope? Stop the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. Their dream? Bolster Turkish power by expansion to the east, through the Armenian highlands, to unite with the Turkic peoples of Central Asia. On the eve of the First World War, Turkey entered into a military agreement with Germany. The main provision of the treaty, a German chief of staff in every Turkish army command to approve all troop movements and strategic decisions by the Turks. Over 12,000 German soldiers served in Turkey during the First World War. Some, like Rudolf Hauss, a youth of 16, volunteered for duty. The German and the Turk, a marriage of convenience. The union of two imperialist dreams, but for one problem: the Armenians. The Armenians had lived at the crossroads of Europe and Asia for over 3,000 years. They had become Christians in the 4th century. In the 14th century, they were conquered by the Muslim Turks. The Armenians, a proud people with a rich heritage of architecture, art, and literature.